Heart beats fast, colors and promises. How to be brave? How can I love when I'm afraid to fall? But watching you stand alone, all of my doubt suddenly goes away somehow. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. Time stands still, beauty in all she is. I will be brave, I will not let anything take away what's standing in front of me. Every breath, every hour has come to this. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I have loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. One step closer. One step closer. I have died every day waiting for you. Darling, don't be afraid. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more. And all along I believed I would find you. Time has brought your heart to me. I've loved you for 1,000 years. I love you for 1,000 more.
Begin this meditation by getting into a relaxing position, either seated or lying down. Trust what your body most desires from you now. whichever position that may be. Just adjust your spine so that it feels tall and straight, and let your hands fall easily by your sides, your palms facing down. And whenever you're ready, just gently close your eyes. Take a deep, gentle breath in and a deep, gentle breath out. Connect to that powerhouse within you, the strength within, as you meditate on today's key message, which is patience and persistence. And gently relax into a very silent, still state within as you focus more intently on my voice and allow your heart to be guided. On the twin flame journey, it is normal that you encounter challenges and tribulations. Each one, even though may be perceived as large or small, are all important because they each transmute a part of your soul back to its loving, natural state. Take a slow, long, deep breath in as you sit in this awareness. And slowly release that breath out. Contemplate that all challenges and all experiences that you come by are designed to shake you and wake you, and that they do so perfectly. They invigorate your soul to new levels of love and peace, and new levels of oneness with all of creation. As outlined in Twin Flames, Finding Your Ultimate Lover by Jeff and Shaleia, persistence is one of the fundamental keys to your harmonious union. Relax deeply into this process that you are one with and that you move harmoniously with. Sink ever more deeply into this state of perfect peace. The energies of patience and persistence are compatible with each other, much like twin flames. Allow the force of persistence to work through you as God moves mountains for you. And equally, allow the quiet, passive energy of patience to be gentle and comforting to you as you love yourself through every chapter in your book, Back Home to God. And now take a final deep breath in. And a final deep breath out as you integrate today's message. And now, in your own time, just slowly bring all of your awareness back to where you are. And now just thank yourself for having taken these few minutes to just be intentional and kind to yourself. And when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes and enjoy the rest of your day. Namaste.
Hi everyone, I'm Mina and I'm back for another card reading for today's Church of Union Sunday service. We're going to use the Whispers of Love Oracle deck by Angela Hartfield. And I have already pre-shuffled the card and pulled 3 cards for us. So let's begin. The first card is Embrace Your Emotions. Allow your feelings to surface and be accepted. So you can see here a lady mounted on a unicorn and they are flying above the stars. There's colors, there's, the wings are open wide. And it feels to me like they're going places in this card. And as I feel into it, I feel like, as you go on any journey, it's important to get clear on where you're going, what's your destination, what are the things that you want to find, and with the spiritual ascension journey is the same. I feel like this card is an invitation from God to really get clear on how is it that our heaven on earth feels like, tastes like, looks like. It could be a good exercise to, think about creating a love list for our lives. Not only it's important to do that, not only for your twin flame and for your twin flame relationship, but also for, your life purpose. What are the things that you would like to be doing? What are the experiences that you would like to be having, for yourself and for those you love? So I think it's a good exercise to really get clear on how is it that your perfect life, ideal life, looks like. And it's a cool way to also understand how open you are for it, because as you feel into that ideal perfect life of yours, you're gonna notice a lot of emotions and feelings coming up to surface. And using the mirror exercise, you can use that as a tool, actually, to figure out if you're already open for that abundance to come into your life, or are there maybe any blocks that you need to heal in order to get there. So it's actually a very precious way to, you know, make your journey more effective, to ensure that you're moving forward towards that dream. And those feelings are gonna be showing you exactly where to go next. This is God communicating to you. You know, you want to go to this place, you want to be here, you want to have this life. Feel into this, and let me show you what are the things that you can heal in order to get there. So yeah, it's a beautiful card, and I do see like some forward movement. It's like God telling you, hey, hop on, we're ready to fly. Where are we going? Do you know where you want to go? Let me take you there. So beautiful, beautiful card to begin the reading. And then the second card is actions speak loudly. Express your love through actions. I love, love, love how they go along, because this is also a lady mounted on a being, and this time it's a bird, a green bird, and they're flying over the water, the ocean, and you know, the wind is blowing, and she's enjoying her trip. And it's beautiful because if you look within here, the bird, there's kind of like an open field, like expanded horizons, and again, more forward movements. It's interesting to me how like she feels like surrendered. She feels like a little bit more surrendered now that we know where we're going, that we have a plan. She's relaxed because she knows that God is guiding her. God is taking her where she wants to go. So she's enjoying the trip. This card also is interesting because I see the elements here. I see water, I see the air, and I see earth, but it's almost like the fire is missing. And I feel like God is communicating to us in this card that, you know, the fire will come from our passions, from our desires. God is like, he wants us to ask ourselves in, you know, any given moment, you really want to get there to your dream. So you can ask yourself, what's the most loving thing that I can do towards my dream? What are the steps that I can take? You can really have that conversation in your heart, and you know, through the feelings that will come up, you'll know what are the things that you want to do, because this is like, it talks about expressing your love through actions. And this feels to me like God is saying, are you your first priority? Are you really doing the things that you know that you want to do in order to have a happier life, in order to, you know, have your dreams manifested? Because, you know, it is a combination. God is saying with this card, I got you, you know, I'll take you wherever you want to go, but it's important that you take the steps. It's important that you yourself are invested in your own journey, that you're committed, you know, to taking the steps that I'm calling you to take, so we can get there. So again, this speaks to me about bringing the fire and letting the fire guide you, because if you're clear on you know, what are your passions and what are the things that you really desire in your heart, you're not gonna give up. You're not gonna lose power. You know, that's where the fuel of your journey is gonna come from. So yeah, I love how they go along. Again, the step one is get clear on where are we going, you know, and the second one is, okay, what do we need to do in order to get there? And surrender too. This is all about like partnership, you know, this journey is all about a partnership. And then the third card is beautiful, true love. It says, this love is once in a lifetime. And immediately what draws my attention is these two unicorns. They're hugging, and yeah, they're just chilling there, and there's like a couple kissing and music and, you know, flowers, animals. There's a baby blossoming from this flower, and fireworks. So yeah, God is saying, hey, you know, all the dreams, all the desires that you have, I really want that for you. That's where we're going. That's the direction that I want to take you to. God is saying, hey, expect miracles, expect fireworks, expect, if you really get clear on your desires, and if you let me take you there, and if you are fully committed to taking the steps and having persistence, and also having compassion towards yourself, and loving yourself through the journey, God is saying, I'll get you there. You can be sure that this is where we're getting. And I feel like this beautiful, the two unicorns are also telling a story that as you do that, as you take this journey and do all these steps and all these things that God is showing you, and feeling your feelings and loving yourself through, you're gonna get there. But you're not gonna get there alone, because remember, your twin flame chooses you, and your twin flame, you choose as one. So God is basically saying with this card, it is meant to be, a beautiful adventure, and you're meant to have your happy ever after. So let's do it. God wants to do it with you. Remember that if it was up to God, we would have everything that He wants for us. He's only limited by our ability to receive it. So you can do this exercise to really get clear on your destination, and then slowly and compassionately and faithfully take the steps in order to get there, and be sure that you are going to get there, and you're going to have a blast. Magic, fireworks, pure fireworks. So don't give up. Well, this is it for today's card reading, and I hope you got some inspiration from these cards, and that you keep enjoying this Sunday service. See you next time.
Hello everyone, I'm Marisol. Welcome to the Chart of Union Sunday service. Today I will introduce you the sermon with Jose Micaela about patience and persistence in your twin flame journey. Patience was something I had to learn so many times in my spiritual journey, because when I decided to start my awakening process 12 years ago, I used to be a very impatient person, and I wanted to do and get my objectives on my dreams in a very fast way, even forcing myself and draining myself in the process in order to achieve them. But when you start in this path, God shows you another way to live, even if you are not aware of it. At the same time you are learning patience, you also learn persistence, because there is always a voice inside of you, inside of your heart, who encourages you to continue pursuing your dreams. But there's also another voice telling you to give up, to abandon everything, to abandon yourself, and to live in suffering, in pain. And this is the voice of your ego. And it's really important to distinguish between them and know which you really want to listen. The ego is not worthy. The ego is what causes your suffering, and there's a moment in your life that you decide not to live in that way. You decide to awake, and the moment you choose love and you love yourself, every little part of your soul, of your consciousness needs to be in alignment with that choice. Your soul is not only the part which is in your physical body. Your soul is bigger, is vast, and every little piece which believes in separation needs to be healed, needs to come back to love again, needs to be in union with you and with God. I remember a class where Jeff was explaining to the students that the people who has really great success in their life is people who never gave up. They had a dream and they pursued the dream no matter what other people told them, no matter what the problems they have to face, no matter the challenges they have to move through. They choose to continue and they choose to believe in their dream, and they paid the price. God decided for their dream and they got it. And they were patient and they were persistent in their pursuing that dream. Persistence is one of the 8 keys to achieve Harmonious Twin Flame Union, and you really need to be persistent in your journey, because your union is such a great spiritual achievement, and that you need to be prepared to handle it. And there were many couples in the community who achieved their union with their twin flame, but they hadn't built enough foundation to maintain the very high vibration of the union, and they separated. Although the separation consciousness is just an illusion, they experience again because in their souls, in their consciousness, there were many parts which felt separated from God and they must be healed. Just imagine your union as building a palace. Maybe only want a palace with 3 floors, 10 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms, and a great garden, but God knows you. And God knows you deserve a bigger and a better palace than you thought. And that's the reason why you have to continue growing in love, growing in peace. Be humble in recognizing that the teachings of union have more knowledge of you for you. They have more places inside of you to love yourself more. Even if you were one of those students who were in union with your twin flame and now you two are in separation, don't be worried, because the experience you are living now is only a new step in your journey. It's a new opportunity to grow, to build more spiritual foundation in your life, to move through the challenges, to love more in that place, to build more bedrooms and floors in your palace, and continue healing all the blocks which needs to be dissolved. It's safe to be compassionate with yourself and face the blocks and the challenges whenever they appear. God's never going to put you in a place where you are not safe or in a situation you can handle. It's safe to feel your feelings and do the mirror exercise with them, because every mirror exercise is a step in your journey. It's an opportunity to call more love, more peace in your life and grow. Last summer I went on holiday to the north of Spain, and when we were driving we wanted to stop in a town called Burgos, because Burgos has the most beautiful cathedral in Spain. I've heard that statement, but I hadn't had the opportunity to see if it was true. So we decided to stop there and go to visit it. And when we arrived there, I was like, wow, it's huge, it's really huge, it's enormous. And it has a lot of towers and naves, because the first cathedral was built in 30 years, but then they built another one, and then they built another one, and so basically there are several cathedrals just in one place. They were building like 500 years until they finished. Then we bought the ticket and went to visit the cathedral, and it was very impressive. It was really beautiful inside, with all the paintings, all the nave and the choir. And I thought, wow, it's worth it. Every penny, every cent, every coin invested here, it was worth it, and I love it. And that will be your Harmonious Twin Flame Union. It will be worthy every mirror exercise you did in your journey, and when you achieve it, you are going to think, wow, so much love just in one person. It was worth it to be patient and to be persistent. Now, I leave you with Jose and Micaela and invite you to donate or tithe to continue to help us spread the message of unionism to the world. And your donations and tithes help us to produce these sermons that reach far and wide. And thank you for joining us. And I will see you at the end.
Hi everyone, I'm Jose.
I'm Michaela, and welcome back to another Church of Union Sunday sermon. Please join us for our opening ohms and our opening prayer.
I am the only child of God, forever part of Him. I am created by Him in perfection, and there I always remain. My mind is my sanctuary, where I keep His holy creation sacred. I will only allow in His voice. I will only accept His word.
Today I will hear the word of God. I surrender myself to His teachings through His divine channel. I will honor what He has spoken and accept it as His will. I will be obedient to His word, for this is my salvation. In
Christ's name, Amen.
Welcome back. Today we have a sermon to talk about, and we're going to talk about patience and persistence on the Twin Flame journey, or the Ascension journey, which is two very important parts of this journey. And without, persistence is one of the 8 fundamental keys in To Harmonious Union in Jeff and Shaleia's book, Twin Flames Finding Your Ultimate Lover, which we're actually going to start by reading a piece on persistence. And then we're going to talk about how patience is another part of that.
Yeah.
And how those two things are very important when you're ascending and you're working through your blocks. So it says, persistence is what keeps you trekking forward even when you're extremely and obscenely upset. Persistence is what pushes the next obstacle off the path. Persistence is the juice that says, I'm going to keep going forward and investing in my union anyway. Even when you're faced with the same roadblock again and again and again, and you're having thoughts of giving up on yourself and your twin flame. Persistence is an important key to a truly unstoppable union. If I didn't have persistence in my union, it might not have grown very much at all, if ever. We might get stuck in patterns or quit after our commitment period was over. If I didn't have persistence, my union might not have the same energy to continue through the upsets. You might notice something about the previous statement and lots of other statements in this book. Well, that's basically the piece, is that persistence is kind of the juice and the energy that you receive to keep going, because something that Jeff and Shaleia always talk about in their classes is that you as a divine being are very vast and expansive, and we have so many facets and so many layers, and we're just basically a much bigger being than we think. And so the path of healing separation is a path of healing through those many layers over and over and over again. And the reason why a lot of people can sometimes feel discouraged is because you underestimate what it takes, to achieve harmonious union or to ascend your consciousness, just to purify, heal separation. And so patience with yourself and having persistence is really important because, you're a very divine, expansive, magnificent being. And so there's many layers to you, and so each of those layers must be healed and aligned.
Yeah. When you were reading the book, what I got, and you can feel this in the energy, you need persistence because there is going to be things coming your way. You are going to have blocks coming your way, and you can feel that is like pressure on you. There is like something put on you, like resistance. You're going to face it, and that has is a force pushing on you. And you need to be able to move through that force. You cannot be passive about it or just not move through it.
Or get smashed.
Exactly, or get smacked by the block or by the upset. You need this persistence, like it says, it's the use that keeps you moving forward. Even when you are very upset or very tired, or maybe it's a very heavy pattern you are healing, you must move through it. You must put the use to move through it.
Yeah.
Because that is where the solution is. And as you said, sometimes you can get overwhelmed because you are very divine and very vast. So there is a lot of healing that takes place. And I remember Jeff in one of the Tifa's classes, he said to someone, a person was overwhelmed with how many blocks they were facing. And Jeff said, you are overwhelmed by your abundance. Because all of this coming your way is your abundance of opportunity, of love, of ascension. And I think that is a very beautiful way of looking at this. abundance of opportunities and of healing coming your way. And you must have the use, I like that word for this, you must have the use to receive it. You must have the persistence to open the gift and open it completely, because if you don't move through the challenge completely, you don't get to that gem at the core of it, and you just persist 99%, you kind of wasted your energy, right?
Yeah.
It's like you did all of this effort but didn't get it, and you might feel drained. And that is why it's so important to go all in, because it's only when you go all in that you get that. And that is going to be the thing that makes all the journey make sense. This is something we have talked about before, about achieving harmonious union. On our journey, there has been a lot of things that when we were moving through them, we didn't understand.
Yeah.
We were like, why is this happening to me? Like, why now? Why is this healing?
What did I do?
Yeah, what happened to me? Or why is this affecting my union? Or if I want harmonious union, why is this important in my life? Why is this pointed out at me again and again and again? Right? You must face it. And maybe you don't understand yet why. But once you move forward in your ascension journey, you can look back and you see, oh, I understand that piece now. I understand why that happened to me. And this is why it's so important to persist, no matter what, because maybe it doesn't make sense yet, but it will at some point. So you must have faith and keep going in that direction here.
Yeah, persistence makes you unstoppable on your journey,
Mm-hmm.
and that you will not be stopped by anything. And when you have that persistence, and I know for me, every time I've gone through a really big challenge and I didn't give up, once the challenge is successfully moved through, I just feel so much more confident in the whole process, you know. And I know that something that happens on this journey is you heal like the really heavy, big, deep stuff first.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like you go through that, and maybe like I remember my very first big dark night of the soul moment on my twin flame journey, my first, challenge.
Yeah.
It was really scary. But I remember I definitely chose not to give up through that, and I made it through. And then I felt so much better. I was like, oh, you know, like I'm powerful. You know, like that didn't derail me, even though it felt really scary at the time. And I felt a little bit better. And then I went through the next challenge, and you know, didn't give up. And then I felt a little bit better about the process. And over and over and over again, and you become stronger and stronger, and you start to learn that persistence does pay off. And there's literally nothing that you can move through. And I know that as Jeff and Shaleia teach, you have to go through your cave of fear to achieve harmonious union. And I remember before I ever moved through that cave of fear, I always had this feeling of like, oh my God, there's going to be an upset that's going to come up, and it's going to be too big for me, and I'm not going to be able to make it through. And I just had that constant, just, I guess, like cloud that I always felt that way. But then when that time came for me to heal and move through that cave of fear, you know, the real core block to our harmonious union, after we made it through that, I don't have that feeling anymore. You know, it's like that persistence through that. I just have a lot of confidence in the process, and I know that we will always be able to make it through everything, because nothing can override your choice. As long as you're choosing to stay with God, and you're choosing to stay with love, and you're choosing to move through your feelings, you're choosing love, doesn't matter whatever is going on the outside, you're going to make it through much stronger. And on the other side of every challenge comes a big breakthrough. So it's safe for you to just persist. And again, change doesn't always happen overnight on this journey, and so you have to have a lot of patience in the process, and patience with yourself, and accept yourself for where you're at and what you're moving through, and know that it's perfectly okay to be wherever you are.
Yeah. And you didn't get to that cave of fear randomly. And this is for everyone. This is something that Jeff and Shaleia teach, is that you earn that challenge. You need to be prepared for it. And this is why it's so important to just focus on what is in front of you right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go to that big challenge and you are not ready, it's going to be very difficult and not compassionate. So yeah, that's why it's so important to have that spiritual foundation
And
that
trust.
this teaching provide. Yeah, you build that over time.
Mm.
I remember my first upheaval or dark night of the soul or something like that. I freaked out. I didn't know what was happening to me. I wasn't ready for a big challenge like the one before Harmonious Union. But God is compassionate with you, and you take it one step at a time. Level 1 first, and then you beat it. And then level 2, you don't go to level 10 straight, one by one. And that is enough. And that is already, that is enough for your growth. One example that I like is, for example, when you are training on the gym, you don't go crazy on that, lifting weights. You can hurt yourself, right? But you start from where you are right now. But to progress, you need to be adding a little extra. You need to be pushing yourself a little to grow, because if not, you get stuck. And this is the twin flame journey. When you master one level, you are pushed a little more, a little harder work, a little deeper upset maybe comes your way, and you earn that. You God trusted you, attracted a level of work that is like the next level in front of you. Yeah, it's in your face. You achieved it, and now you can move through that. And this is why patience is so related to this, because you must understand that there is a process and you cannot jump to the result like boom and have it, right? I remember something funny. I don't know if I have shared this before. When I was starting my journey and I started to listen to Jeff and Shaleia, I tried to do something. So I listen to them and I hear you do the inner work, and then you get your twin flame, and then you do inner work together. And I remember my first days after finding the teaching, I was thinking in my mind, I do inner work, get my twin flame, and do more inner work. I was like, what if I get my twin flame now and then do the inner work together, right? It's a better deal for me. It's like, I get my twin flame now, and I was trying to deal with God. It's like, God, I have a better idea. You give me twin flame now, and I promise we do the work, and we do the work after. I was obviously ignored. Didn't work. You cannot negotiate with God. You accept it or not. And at that moment, it was pretty innocent. I didn't understand why you needed so much foundation. Because if you do inner work either way, why not have it before? Why not have it now? But I wasn't ready to handle it. And I didn't know. And God didn't give into my game. And it never does. And yeah, sometimes we find ourselves in this situation of, I want it now, and it's not happening now. Why? Because it's not time yet. That doesn't mean it's not for you. Doesn't mean you are not on the way to that. But there is a reason why there is more work to be done. And maybe you don't understand it, but that little piece that you need to handle can be the difference between having success and something falling apart in your life. And that's why you trust in God. God knows what you need. God knows how to build the house of your life. You don't. So you better surrender and you better relax into it. So that didn't work for me. I learned my lesson and did the work, like Jeff and Shaleia said, and the result happened. But you cannot control how it happens. You can just surrender to it. And I think that is very important to relax in the process. That experience taught me a lot. Not getting what I wanted taught me a lot about patience. And about, it's not about having the thing. It's about learning the lesson and the journey right now. And that's it.
Yeah, it's nice. And teachings of union teach you a process of ascension that's perfect. You don't like it's completely, everything that you need is there, and so you don't need to like try to skip steps, you know, or think like, well, I'll just shortcut, you know, because you can't, you know, you can't negotiate with God, and it's safe to just have patience. And it reminds me of a lesson in life purpose class, actually. I think it's the class called Committing to Artistry. I don't remember the number, but something that Jeff and Shaleia talk about in that class is that on Earth and in this physical universe, reality is very dense, meaning that things don't manifest right away, and things only manifest after you've repeatedly chosen them, you know, good or bad. And the reason why that things don't immediately manifest the way that they do in heaven is because that might be very bad. To someone who's choosing fear, you know, you don't want things to manifest. And so they said it actually is like a very safe thing. And that's why it's a process to achieve harmonious union. You make that choice over and over and over and over again. And all of the places that you've chosen separation sometime in the past or fear, you're choosing love now in that space. And you do that over and over and over and over again. And eventually you do hit your core block, and you reach that point that Jeff and Shaleia refer to as like your union point in one of the classes. And like the vortex of your attraction field, you know, it shifts, and you attract your twin flame because you've manifested it, because you've reaffirmed that choice and moved through the blocks and obstacles to get there. And it's science, you know. So patience is important, you know. It takes reaffirming that choice and making that choice every time you're presented with an opportunity to choose union or choose separation. And you keep choosing union. And that's why we do the mirror exercise over and over and over again. Because you're bringing yourself into union with yourself during every block that you clear with the mirror exercise. And so it's a process. It's, you know, it's like you can't speed up the process of planting a seed. You can't make it grow. You would only, you know, slow it down if you keep trying to dig it up every 5 seconds. So you have to plant the seed, and then you have to take care of it and water it and give it sunlight and keep the weeds out, you know. Nurture the seed, and it will blossom. But that's one of the biggest lessons for me is you can't you can slow down the process by resisting it and fighting it and struggling. But you can't really speed it up, but you can surrender to the best pace for you, which is God's perfect pace. And you do that through releasing the resistance and just choosing to persist, knowing that, you know, your harmonious union is a guarantee. And whatever it is you're manifesting, if it's God's will for you, it's gonna happen. And your job is just to keep aligning yourself with it, keep healing the blocks that arise to it, keep doing the mirror exercise and the inner healing work, and you will manifest the thing. And so patience just means that you accept where you're at now, and that you don't need something outside of you to make you happy, that you're enough now, and you can be happy now. And then persistence is what moves you through all of the challenges that will arise on this journey, because there will be challenges, and there's no getting around that. Even after harmonious union, as we all know, the challenges keep going, and like, you keep leveling up and you get stronger. And so persistence makes you unstoppable, and you start to develop real confidence in yourself, and know that no matter what comes up, you're gonna make it through it. No matter how scary the challenge is, you always make it through. You know you're gonna be okay. So,
And you learn that you are in a very safe space to learn your lessons. If you have patience, if you have persistence, and you are just following the path, you are studying the teaching, you are in a very safe space to learn your lessons. There is no reason to push yourself to do it faster, and it doesn't work that way. Stress yourself out. The more you relax, the more you can learn. When you are stressed out and you try to study something, it doesn't get into your mind. You are like freaking out about it. But if you relax into the learning, you learn a lot more than you were expecting to learn. You get a lot more of information, a lot more of insight. It's the same with this journey. There is no way of cheating the system, like we said before. It's like if you want to study to be a doctor, you don't go to the last year of university. You don't know what they are talking about. And if you try to do it that way, at some point, all of that knowledge of the previous year is going to catch up. You need to catch up with that. You cannot avoid the lessons. You think maybe you are doing it faster, but you are actually making it more difficult and complicated that you need to do, because the healing or the study or the work is the same. The only thing that you did differently is putting yourself through unnecessary contrast and delays. And instead, the person that starts in the first year and work their way up is going to be so much faster than you, because he's doing it in a compassionate way and in a peaceful way. So that is key.
Yeah, building a foundation.
Yeah.
That's what patience is for.
Yeah, exactly.
Building a foundation. And like Jeff and Shaleia always say that when you're building a foundation, it looks like you're going this way, while the other people, maybe your peers in life, are going this way.
Yeah.
You're going this way, and you're digging a deep foundation, and then suddenly they're up, and then you shoot forwards. You have a solid foundation. But yeah, like digging the foundation in of your spiritual journey and your ascension looks like, like you're digging in, you're going into the dark cave, your consciousness, and it doesn't always look like on the outside it's rainbows and butterflies, So yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, safe to persist through all of your challenges and know that whatever you set your mind upon, you will have, and there's no reason to give up. It doesn't serve you. It doesn't provide you with relief. Only, peace provides you with relief and being with God.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah. Do you feel complete? Perfect. So we can move into the closing prayer and the closing alms. Father, I accept your word into my heart. I will honor your will in my life and will follow you without hesitation anywhere you ask. I know you guide me into your heart, where I belong. I accept that you are everywhere, and your teaching is in all things. God, I know you provide me clarity in this teaching of union, that I may be forever in union with you.
I accept that you are in me as you are in my brother. I will not deny my brother your word, and will share your teaching with him in any way you ask, and only as you ask. For when I share my salvation with him, I fully claim my salvation and return to you with him.
In Christ's name, Amen.
Speaking this prayer in your heart means you have accepted that you are on the path of awakening to your true divine nature. This is what it means to be a unionist. Follow the teachings of union with God wherever you find them, and purify your consciousness into perfect union with your Creator.
Perfect. And now the closing alms. You can loud or in your heart.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. We wish you a wonderful Sunday, and we'll see you next week.
See you. Bye.
Hello again, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the sermon by Jose and Micaela. One of my favorite parts was when Jose explained how he tried to negotiate with God and get his twin flame before doing the inner work, and God didn't listen to him. And I think it's a classic in the twin flame journey. I believe that when you arrive to the community, to the teachings, everybody tries to do something similar and skips the steps of your twin flame journey, but it never works. You can't skip steps because you are building something bigger than you imagine, and you need to move through all the challenges, through all the upsets which needs to be healed, even if you don't understand why are you facing those challenges. but Ghost knows you what you need to release in your consciousness to be with your twin flame. You can relax in the work, you can relax in the teachings of union because your union is guaranteed, but every step you walk is necessary in your path. And God knows you, and God knows you how to do it in the most compassionate way for each of us. You can skip your lessons, even if your mind thinks it could be a better way. God knows the best way and the easiest way for you to do it. I will also highlight something that Michaela said about persistence, because persistence makes you unstoppable. When you move through a big challenge, you get stronger and more confident, and you are going to face the next one in a better attitude. In conclusion, don't give up, be patient, and be persistent, and you will get all your dreams. And now, I would like to invite you to visit our unionism.org page, where you will find all our past sermons, music, meditations, and card readings. You also be able to donate or tithe to contribute to the Church of Union message to the world. We also like to invite you to like and subscribe to our Church of Union YouTube channel, where you will find all of our past sermons and other live discussions from our Unionism discussion group on Facebook. And don't forget to activate the bell to receive a notification when we upload a new sermon. Also, directly after our Sunday service, please join us in After Church Tea Time on Facebook, where you could watch a group of unionists discussing and sharing their own experiences and learnings on this Sunday sermon. We thank you again for joining us. Have a great day, a great week, and see you in the next Sunday service.